What is good, y'all? SGG Game, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another Pittsburgh Power Rebuild video, baby. And today, we're going to try to get a little bit more of the way into the season. As you can see, we're starting off at 8-7 so far. Not a great start considering how it really kind of went down. If you guys haven't checked out the last couple of videos, make sure you head back and check those out for your boy. Got a lot of great content to start off the new year 3 here for us. But we have a lot of good things going on for us. I think I love the way the offense is looking. Pitching has looked better, and especially in the bullpen has looked better than normal. So we're going to look to keep those trends moving forward here as we look forward to the future. You see, we're only a game and a half behind the Reds. I know it is early, but we always want to check these standings to see, make sure nobody's pulling away. Reds are at 10-6 right now. We'll have to keep eyes on them, the Cardinals, and really the whole division because we're all still so close. But as we go ahead and jump into things, we have a series here against the Padres. You're going to get this the episode kicked off with a loss in game 1. We come back here in game 2 with Matt Strahm on the mound. A chance to go ahead and tie the series up, but they do have a runner at first base. Lamonte Wade is on, and for whatever reason, I had to go check to see why he was even in the game. We only have 2 relievers left, and everybody's already been used. Sims pitched 2 outs, and then they took him out for a reason. Didn't give up any hits. Jonathan came in already, and then our closer already came in and got 1 out, so I would assume he's probably hurt then. So we have Strahm coming in here for the save situation. Barn will have to see what happens back at the main menu to see if Jose Leclerc is actually hurt. But Lamonte Wade Jr. is trying to come in clutch for the Padres here, trying to get that run around. It is the time run. He is the winning run at the plate as we're in the bottom of the 9th here. As he pops this one up, going out to Pete Crow, center field. He will go ahead and gather underneath it for the victory, baby. We're able to come in, get that 1 out. Continue this wins. We got to get, stay above 500 is the goal right now. We want to be 500 or better. So the longer we can stay above that and get a little bit of gap, the better. It does put us at a 9-8 record, which does show here 1 to 2 week injury on a finger contusion for Jose Leclerc. So he will be able to miss a couple of games. Only 1 to 2 weeks, though. I'm going to go ahead and just keep him active. Just move him out of the closer role for now. Let Lucas Sims, I think, handle that. And obviously, he'll be back in the lineup here shortly. But not before we go ahead and lose the last game against the Padres to end up that series. And then here, we got to focus on scouting. Big emphasis on third base this year. Not a lot of them are looking good. At least the ones that have third base as their primary position. They're not looking too good. You see they dropped all the way back to 79 on the board. So we're going to keep looking at third basemen internationally to get more of a wider range and see if we can really find those pieces that can actually fit that. Leading into also a trade request here, because I did put Jordan Hicks on our trade block to see if it was something we could go get. They want to give us Yoskar Yanoa, 27 years old, C potentials at 75. We're also probably already close to his potential. And I immediately see a 6.5 ERA. That is not going to help out this team, especially with Jordan Hicks, who actually has, he's at a 7, but if I'm not about to trade a 7 ERA for a 6 ERA when he has B potential too as well. Might as well keep what on paper looks better. Now we do get a sweep here against the Nationals though, which is great for the record. 13-9 now after scoring more than 4 runs in each of the games. Leads us right into a series here where Paul Sneeze having a okay start to the season. 4 games, 6.5 ERA, 1.4 whip. Strikeout rates are high, but we want to get a player like in here because he is being very, very cold to start off his sophomore year. That's Tamar Johnson. 122 average here to start off the year early, and we have seen some offensive struggle. It's improved, but seen some offensive struggle, and I think this is part of it. Last year we could rely on Johnson to hit 270, 280 for us at the 8th spot of the lineup to really get on and give our top of the lineup guys chances to get more RBIs. If he was still hitting like that, I would think that this team would actually probably be way farther away from first place here, or farther away from 500, as that's going to get down the outfield thanks to the dive. We're going to send the second runner across, and he is out by a mile at the plate. At least we get a 1 on that, an RBI for Tamar Johnson on his hit there. But we are still down 2-1 here after those 2 early inning runs given up by Paul Sneeze. And one of the things I just don't know, it might literally just be a sophomore slump here for Johnson. I don't know what's going on. His ratings have gone up. He hasn't gotten worse, through the offseason. And he's sitting in the same spot in the lineup as he has in the past. I don't know, maybe it's a situation where the guy behind him isn't a big enough threat, so they're able to pitch to him more confidently. They got to figure it out from last season. Could also be an issue. Still playing great defense here, as you can see. He gets a couple of double plays here and then here. Running over to the bag himself. Can he flip it instead of start it? Throw over. Got him. So still phenomenal at second base. Still solid there for us. We just need to get that average up. 132 is not going to cut it. And I can't obviously move him up. And he's already one of the lowest spots in the lineup that I can think of. And I actually value my non-hitters. So 8 to me is probably like 9 for most of the people, the worst hitter. Because I feel like the 9 can really flip the lineup and flip the rotation. So if the 9's hitting good, that gives your 1 a chance to hit even better. And there's more RBIs for the top of that lineup to go all the way through once the game gets started. So 9 is definitely not my worst hitter. It's not my best, but he's not my worst. And you can see there, I did go ahead and change it, though, to the show sim screen. So since we are here in the bottom of the 8th, I wanted to be able to play the 9th in case we did get out here with Johnson. But he gets a base hit to go up the middle, so we're actually going to stay in the game. So I'm actually going to go into full control. So here from the bottom of the 8th, we're going to try to come back and win this game. If we can, that's going to get a bunt down by Pete. Down the third base line, slow roller's going to get there. He bobbles the ball, but I don't even think he would have had it even if he picked it up cleanly. As now it's the lead up to Ke'Bryan Hayes as he bunts this one into the sky. Infield fly rolling effect, and we had a guy stealing off. That is going to be a triple play. 1, 4, 3, triple play off the bunts. And that was our last chance to score there. We didn't do anything in the 9th. I cannot believe Ke'Bryan Hayes. All he had to do was put the bunt on the floor. We would have had second and third with 1 out at the worst. It's been actually bunted into a triple play off of the pop-up. And then outside of that, 9 hits as a squad, though. We got to work on scoring more runs. We cannot have 9 hits and only 1 run come across. And after an embarrassment on offense like that, I wanted to jump into a full game here against the Mariners to try to bounce back and answer that, because that was pitiful. Losing 1 or 2. Now, this team is good, though. Don't get me wrong. The Mariners are now 16-8 after that win against us. So this is going to be a very tough opponent. Should we have to see them, later in the season, obviously in the World Series would be the next time we play them with any serious implications being on the American League side. But we want to actually go look at Jackson Wolf. You guys remember last episode, Johan Oviedo got hurt and will be missing 2 to 3 months. Jackson Wolf has played great in the long relief role. He's taking over his spot in the rotation. He's already started 1 game. But I did want to get in a full game where we can look and see what Jackson Wolf is going to have to offer for us. And that'll go ahead and bring up Randy Orozarena. Y'all already know. Y'all gotta let me know down below in that comment section, bro. Let me know how to pronounce some of these names. We is not getting them. But he's the leadoff batter here for Seattle, batting .350 in the leadoff spot. I wish we could have something like that up at the top, especially if it was up there with some speed, as we're going to go ahead and get to the bag and clear that up cleanly for us. And now here, of course, we have CPU versus CPU gameplay. I wanted to let you guys see a little bit more of this and see what it can be like here to let complete ratings take over. So we'll have no effects on me at all. You see down below, look at Johnson's slump. 3 for his last 33 before that 2-hit game yesterday against the Mariners too. So it has been a pretty long slump for him. But hopefully he can break out of it with yesterday's performance. Maybe another good performance here today is Julio Rodriguez over to O'Neill for the throw over, and he would just barely beat that one out. Just a slow roller enough for him to be able to get over to first base and bring up Kyle Riley here, who pops this one up back behind the plate. First pitch he sees will go right into the catcher's glove for the final out. That'll bring up Brian Wu for Seattle. 4 games started this season so far, a 4.5 ERA, 1.8 whip. Both numbers are pretty high for only 19 innings pitched, so hopefully we can get our bats going against him and work this walk too, because his walk rate is extremely high at 14%. I'm slowly starting to get what those numbers are, like what's good, what's average, what's kind of high, and I believe 14% for the walk rate. To me, at least, that still sounds kind of high from what we see from other starters. So we'll have our lineup going with Ke'Bryan Hayes in the leadoff spot here for us, batting .321 so far this year. It's the first time we've had him lead off. He's normally at the 2 or 3 spot, maybe even the 5 sometimes. But here, this season early, he's been doing great at getting on base. So letting him lead off with Pete struggling. Breaking his bat here as this one gets popped up over to first base for the first out of the inning. And if I haven't said it already, man, thank you guys so much for the love and support that you guys already give to the series here. Not only this one, but all the series that we put up on the channel so far. I got more greatness coming for you guys. Have more planned. I might even come back with some more walkthroughs and let's plays as I start to stack up a little bit more of that paper, buy some of these old games, and get to some of the games that have been big across the gaming community, and let you guys see my POV of them and see how well I can play those games. Because we have done a couple story-based games here on the channel: Call of Duty, Hogwarts Legacy, already up. Sly Cooper did all 4 games, so if you guys haven't already, check out those walkthroughs. The playlists are on the channel. You can easily just go to them and watch them if you guys want more content to watch. But make sure you guys start subscribing too as well. The more subscribers, the more likes we get on the videos, the more we get shared out to other people, so we can help grow this family up. Road to 1K incoming, as we want to keep doing more and more rebuilds like this across the games and find that rebuild community, so you guys can see what it's like to be a true speed builder when it comes to these games, because we build the best dynasties across the tube here. Right now, the Pirates are not kind of proving my point here at the moment as we give up a base hit up the middle. But we're taking somebody like Jackson Wolf and making him a great starter here, as we did try to let him start last year. It kind of didn't really work out. ERA was pretty high. But so far this year, he's looked pretty strong. And his first official, I guess you say, start was we're watching him here closely. We'll see what he's able to produce. That's going to be a fly ball out to left in the seats. And Brandon Drury lines it back up for a 2-1 count. Chopped on the ground. Foul ball yet again. Can we go ahead and retire him here? It's been a pretty long at bat. Pitch number 6 got to come in here as that one gets chopped on the ground. Great diving play by the third baseman. Throw will go over and it'll be dug out of the dirt. Great dig by Pete, but Brian Hayes. Excellent dive over there to his right. Let's go ahead and look at that on StatCast here in slow-mo for us. Right down the line. Great dive off the bounce. Fires up immediately and puts that one right on the shins, the kneecaps. Great ball placement there to go ahead and have that one caught in. That's out number 1. Does move the run up to second, though. Jorge Polanco will come in with a 1-2 count. He gets a curveball in on the hands, fighting this one off towards foul territory. That's a great dive and pickup. Now, I've got to say, by the throw of this one going to home, I'd imagine, yep, the runner did move over to third on this one, so that's a sac fly at least. But Anthony Santander, back-to-back defensive gems for the Pirates. We got to go back and watch this one, too. We don't get to see that many defensive opportunities here. This one is a great line down to the ball. 100% route efficiency, so took the most perfect way to the ball. 17 miles per hour to get there, and had the great dive at the end to go ahead and lay out and bring that one in. To go ahead and get it out there instead of just letting it go foul. Then we get the strikeout to go ahead and end the inning. That's how you end it off, baby. 2 great defensive gems and a strikeout. Jackson is getting help from his team and doing it himself all at once. This is when it gets chopped on the ground. Another base hit, though, leading off another inning here. Back-to-back innings. Ryan Bliss this time getting on. Randy, 119 career home runs. That's gotta be kind of a lot for a leadoff hitter. I know they actually keep stats of records like that. Great double play, though. We're not gonna let that fool us, but they keep stats like that too, like to show like who has the most leadoff home runs. I wonder who's leading that category. I feel like it might be somebody old, but I feel like it was like Ricky Weeks or Jimmy Rollins, one of them two, because they were notorious for hitting those leadoff home runs back into, like, you know, the mid 2000s, late 2000s, early 2010s. Hitting a lot of those leadoff inning home runs, not even just at the one spot in general, but leading off the ball game with the home run, which gives your team so much more excitement, so much more momentum when the very first batter up there already has the pitcher rattled. Wish we had something like that here today. Looks like we're kind of getting shut down, so we finally get our first base runner on here as we get a walk there to Tamar Johnson. Leading the Preet. Coming up with a runner on first. I honestly probably would try to lay down a bunt here. I mean, especially with him hitting 232. He's been struggling all season. We chopped this one on the ground. That'll squeeze his way through the second baseman, though. And we will have runners at first and second now, thankfully, with only one out here in the third. And now we've got a great run scoring opportunity here with the top of the lineup coming back up. This is exactly what I'm talking about. While I want that 9-hitter to be good at hitting. I think Brian Hayes has a chance here. He's been clutch for us in the past. Reynolds is batting 241 runners in scoring position. So maybe if he can go ahead and get at least one here just in case. And we'll watch that cutter upstairs by the eyes. So a walk there, his second walk of the inning. And now we have bases juice for Brian Reynolds. Hitting from the left side of the plate, getting a switch hitter into the lineup, which is something we struggled to find in our Tiger series. A switch hitter that actually be dominant in there in the lineup. We actually got 2 of them here in this lineup. So that's great. So, you know, getting that back with interest here in this series is Reynolds. Takes this one out to left field. It's kind of shallow. We'll have to see if they test this one towards the plate. The throw is going to come in for it. Cut off there. And we actually do score the run. Tamar Johnson was on the move. Able to go ahead and get in there for us. Go all the way from first to home on the walk. And then Santander will come up with bases still at 1 and 2. Have our 1-0 lead. Can we extend it a little bit farther here as he swings through the four-seamer upstairs, trying to get it all back. Wasn't able to make contact with it. That's a great strikeout pitch, though, but not before us getting that 1-0 lead off of only one hit so far this game. As we jump ahead. Top of the sixth here, still 1-0 us. Randy's coming up for his third AB of the game. And it actually will be a fly ball out to Santander, who will just settle underneath this one after taking a couple steps. And so far, Jackson has looked pretty good. I mean, we're at 59 pitches now through 5 2/3 as we go ahead and get this fly ball to Pete. Gloved in. And it looks like we could have a strong outing here. I don't know if we're looking complete game shutout possibly as we get the strikeout in there on the knees for Rodriguez. But I mean, he's looking pretty good if we can go ahead and go all the way for it. And they're going to go to their bullpen, bringing in Mauricio Loveria. 23 2/3 innings pitched. So he's definitely has pitched a lot this season in 10 games. Definitely their long reliever, but an 8.3 ERA and a 33 average against righties is going to spell some trouble for him. As against lefties, he was 200, but they're showing that they can hit here today as Ryan Reynolds gets on first base easy. He have a better chance against righties, but he's struggling against them. Santander coming up next. He's also switch hitting on the left side. Pops this one into shallow right field, and that will drop down. It got right in front of the right fielder, so he's going to be at third base since he decided to keep going. That's great awareness to go ahead and trust that that would fall. He was going halfway and then kept going. And because of that, now we have runners at the corners. No outs here in the bottom of the sixth. And Pete Alonso is up. He walked already back in the fourth. Hasn't been on base yet today. We'll see if he can change that here against Mauricio as the pitch comes in. And that is a ball taken deep out the left field. Clear the deck. The cannonballs are coming. 3-run home run there by Pete Alonso. Taking that one way out to left field. His 7th of the season. Look at that exit below 110 miles per hour off the bat. You know, he got a full hold of that one. So I don't know who forehead they just showed, but dang, he need that LeBron hairline fix. As that makes it a 4-0 lead here for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And maybe they're going to have to go to the bullpen again, which they will, bring in Carlos Vargas now. And he's got a 9.4 ERA. So we see the struggle with this team. Unless they just brought out the 2 worst relievers, the Mariners need to fix their relief issue. They have a they have a better record than us. You know, 16-10. They're better than us technically on paper by record, but this is the 2 worst relievers I'll see come to the game. I don't even think we have relievers with ERAs that high just yet. But the inning is still not over as we do get a base hit there. Julian Cortez will come up right after. As he's already 1 for 2 on the day too as well. Love the stance that he has here too. Like, that's one thing I do like too with some of these rookies. They come in with not even just generic stances, but really cool looking stances here. That actually reminds me a little bit of Prince Fielder's stance back in the day, which is kind of crazy because they both play first base. They both have no speed. The only difference is he doesn't have the defense that Prince Fielder has, but he is a rookie, so he can develop it. I mean, I think he's only 18 too. Like, he's not like a 21-year-old rookie. He's 8. I'm pretty sure he's 18. And already at the major league level, killing it. Now, despite the fact that we are also killing this rally with 3 straight outs, we do still have a 4-0 lead here as we go ahead and go to the top of the 5th. Now it is 5-0 as we're able to go ahead and capitalize on an extra run here. We just want to see if Jackson Wolf can hold this down, and will he go ahead and get the complete game shutout here for us, as that's going to be a ball that will get down up the line. Won't hit up against the wall, but the outfielder will. The throw will come in just a little bit late as Jorge Polanco will get into second base. We're still letting Jackson Wolf stay out there though. 82 pitches of the way through. He's hopefully got decent stamina here. I'm guessing the bullpen's up and active at least a little bit though, right? 2-2. Blooped into left center field. That's a lot of speed by Pete, but he won't get there. He'll have to play it off the bounce. Throw's going to come all the way into the plates as he's in there in time to score that one. Luke Riley is the RBI base hit, and now Skip's going to go ahead and come out. We're going to go ahead and pull the arm for us here. As that was a great start, though. Jackson Wolf, 7 strong innings of work, only gave up 1 earned run. We'll have to look at the rest of the stats as far as hits and strikeouts and all that here at the end, but very impressed with how deep he was able to go into this ball game. That 1 earned run probably just came because he was tired. Probably could have been avoided, but we're going to go ahead and stick with another lefty since they've been struggling with it all day and bring in Matt Strahm. 6 games this season. The ERA is kind of high, but he's only pitched 5 2/3. That's probably just giving it 1 or 2 earned runs. But .300 averages against righties and lefties shows that they are making solid contact at least. So got to hope for a clean outing here. Just get us through this 8th, maybe even the 9th. But I would imagine we have another reliever coming for the 9th inning. Now he'll be set to go against 9-1-2. So Ryan Bliss will be up first here. I'm going to try to keep that run from second from scoring. So a strikeout would be beautiful if we can get it here. And we're set up for an 0-2 count right now at the moment. He swings through the slider in on the hands. That'll be the strikeout that we need. Now any 2 outs here that come in any kind of combination will work for us. Randy up next. He's 0 for 3 on the day. We've kept him quite out of that leadoff spot. So you know that 350 average is drooping. But he's working a full count here. 3-2. Gets called on the sinker in on the hands as he is throwing the bat ready to walk down. He's confused. That was right on the black. I think that was a beautiful call. Not even just being supportive there or biased, but I think that was right on the black. So great eye on that one. Good pop fly there as we're able to go ahead and get through that inning. And we go here to the bottom of the 8th with the chance to try to get a little bit more insurance runs if possible. And O'Neal Cruz said we're not done with offense. Base hit into the outfield. Carlos Vargas is still in the game. 35 pitches through, so maybe another long reliever too. Maybe their long relievers are struggling like ours, and they just didn't want to bring in any middle relievers. But right now, he's giving up a base hit and a walk. Has managed to get 2 outs here this inning, but now Johnson has a chance to be clutch. With the 1-1 count here, gets a slider in on the hands. That's going to be out in the outfield. You saw Cruz rounding it. The throw is going to go into third base. They're not even going to go to the plate as we get their extra run back. It is back to a 5-run lead, 6-1 thanks to Tamar Johnson. Maybe he's back to his old self, getting a couple hits, getting a couple RBIs. And finally, we start seeing some of their good relievers here. Stephen O'Kirk will go ahead and come in. And those are good relieving numbers there. Through 9 innings of work, basically 9 1/3. He's actually put up solid numbers against both righties and lefties and got a considerable amount of strikeouts. And right now, he could use one here against Pete if possible. As this one's chopped on the ground over the third base line. He's going to have to get this one, throw in the second. Will not be in time. That was probably his best choice there. He couldn't, round himself around to get to third. He was not going to get into second, and that was too much speed going to first. But they just go ahead and handle it with a strikeout of Brian Hayes themselves. We're going back to our bullpen too, bringing in Ronzi Contreras, and he's completely turned his season around. Last year, he's notorious for being around the 4, maybe even 5 range. But this year, he's looked pretty strong, came out of spring strong. And now we're looking here with a 5-run lead, giving them plenty of leeway. Just go ahead and close this one out, get the final 3 for us if possible. Not even mad at the walk choice there against Julio. Don't want to throw anything unnecessary. He is 2 for 3 on the day, so he's seen the ball well. So we'll go to a guy that hasn't got a hit yet, and that's Cal Riley. 0 for 3 on the game here. Throwing in another 12-6. Popped out to left field, getting on his horse as that one leaves the yard. Just as they think we're safe, Ronzi gives up the home run off the 12-6 and on the hands. Cal Riley's 6th home run of the season. I cannot believe he was able to pull that one off. It looked like that was a good location too, a good spot for the 12-6. I thought it was going to get caught on the warning track, but no. That one left the yard here. We're still going to go back to these 12-6s. The confidence in these got to be pretty low right now. And I got to imagine we have Jose Leclerc probably getting up here. Or at least Lucas Sims, somebody that can come in and close out this game. And yes, after that strikeout, we are going to the bullpen. It is Lucas Sims still filling in for the injured Jose Leclerc. He has not come back yet. So 8 1/3 innings here. We'll look to go ahead and get these last 2 outs. Get his first save here of the young season. And give us the 6-3 victory. As that one is a nice little pump fake there from Brandon. Letting that slider go all the way across. Coming back after the evened up count. They're getting in on the body. Ooh. Had a duck off the plate tremendously, then came back on that slider on the hands. Maybe he had a plan for it, back him up a little bit so he get that one with the end of the bat. As you can see the stats down below, we're 2 games behind the Reds, tied with the Cardinals. And this win should at least give us maybe even a game closer to one of those 2 to help out with our spots here in the standings, as long as we can get this last out against Jorge Polanco. Swings over top of the 4-seamer, bringing that 95 feet in. 1-2. Lucas, what do you have for me? From the wind up. In on the hands, it's a 4-seamer, and that'll be the strikeout that we're looking for. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. Shaking hands up with the coaches. We get the W here. 6-3 victory. We're able to go ahead and hold on to it and bounce back. And good job there by the team as a whole. Way to go for the offense. Able to put up that many runs. You know, that 3-run home run actually ended up being very influential. And then Jackson Wolf getting the dub there because we were able to hold it down 3-0 on the young season thanks to his relief work as well as his now start. And I got to say, the defense played great behind him. Offensively, the bats were able to come out. And I'm glad Rosie Contreras didn't have more people on base that he could give up hits to. And it was just limited to that 2-run home run that even got them close in the first place. You see there's 7 innings, 7 hits given up, 6 strikeouts, and an earned run, though, for Jackson Wolf. So shout out to him. He also gets player of the game for us. I saw a 3-for-3 day there. Was that Pete? Yeah, 3-for-3 at the bottom of the lineup. That, hey, helping the average go back up to 264. So shout out to him. Cruz getting 2 hits on the day. Julian Cortez gets his 4th double. Pete Alonso is up there with 20 RBIs now with his 3. Brian Reynolds has 20 RBIs. And then Stram, 1 inning, 2 Ks in relief. Rosie Contreras. Gotta say, I'm disappointed in those 2 earned runs after I was just talking about how good you actually turn around your season. We'll have to see if it does affect it long term. Now, really quickly, we do want to go ahead and check out the minor leagues here. Do a little quick early season minor league update on some of our young up-and-coming talent. Guys that we are excited for, guys that we have drafted, and kind of getting some of their first games out of the way in the season. And here we have, I think it's Eric Salas, as we actually traded for him. You know, the catcher situation wasn't working out, so I wanted to get younger at this position and still get a good prospect while giving somebody, it's Ethan, not Eric, but Ethan, while giving somebody else, though, a, say, proven, you know, he's got a high overall at the very least, so maybe he can go to a new team, new scenery, get into a starting role and produce while we're getting somebody unproven and we're just kind of trusting potential. So that's why I thought that trade was and made a lot of sense. Although he hasn't proven himself at the major league level yet, we did give them somebody that could. Just off of relocation there as Ethan gets gunned down there at second base on a little bit of a late leave. But we wanted to see what he could do here, and he's played great at AAA previously. So here this season, we're wanting to get eyes on him. He's got great or good offensive ratings. He's a pretty good defender. I think somebody that could be on the bench and maybe even take over that catcher role because our catcher is getting older. He's 26 now, and Henry Davis 26, 27. So who knows how much longer he's going to be in that good window there as that throw will be off the bag there for Herbert Bill. Able to get on with the fielder's choice. We're out there at the plate, and actually ball game is over here as we're able to go ahead and capture the dub with the team. But yeah, Salas is somebody that I have promising plans for in the future, possibly taking over the catcher role, but for sure want to see him on our bench at some point if possible. And here today, I think he put on a pretty good showing here for our Knights. There he goes, 1 for 3. With a walk here today, so showing he can get on base more than just getting his hits in and everything. Batting .253 on the season. Quinn Priester had a decent start here today, just didn't go long into it. Only 4 innings, 1 earned run, but 4 walks, so probably up that pitch count a little bit. And here in the next game, we're going with the guy that has the 2nd most RBIs on the team, Herbert Bill. Batting .286 this year, 11 ribbies, and last year absolutely destroyed AA the entire season. I think we brought him to AAA the last month, most likely. So he's improved a fair amount in his career. Definitely looked very strong from the time that he's at AA and from the time he's getting drafted, and very close to probably making that leap up to the major league level. I can see him being at spring training next season, most likely, if he's able to continue to perform good like this. That's going to be a ball driven out to left field for a line drive out there. So he's got a little bit of power, a lot more contact though, I would say, and he's got decent defense. We're working on that arm so he can actually play in the outfield a little bit. So right now we have a move to left because his arm is weaker. He was a center fielder originally, but I don't feel like he has the arm strength or accuracy to play center field. And then he definitely has the speed, though. That would actually help out with Pete Crow over there. I think he'd actually make an addition over Brian Reynolds because of his speed factor. That would help him out with getting to balls a little bit better here, as that throw will go and get him out over at first base, and that'll end the game. And yeah, so where he actually started and ended at, he started out as a 66. He's at a 72 overall now. So a huge jump off of that one season in AA. We'll see how much growth we see this year to see if it's even more of that magnitude. If he can get close to like the mid 70s, like I'm saying 76 to 78, expect to see him at spring training this year, maybe even a possible September call-up, depending on how the rest of the season goes. Marco Gonzalez has been struggling down at AAA after being one of our best starters at the major league level, so maybe it was the right time to send him down. And we're going to actually send down even further to AA. We have guys like Josh Worth, who's performing pretty good, batting .270 this season, looking to maybe make his leap up. He started out as a 58 overall, is now a 61. After spending some time down here at the AA level, didn't feel like he was quite ready for that call up. But he's one of our right fielders that we're waiting to see if anything happens there. We are also scouting right field again. See if we get somebody a little bit more MLB ready, because this is going to be a project with Worth. Being a 61 overall, it's going to take him a minute to reach that B potential that he does have set for himself. Now right here, he's able to get on base. Doesn't move up any farther though after the strikeout there. But we've seen this AA team constantly be good, especially in the postseason. They actually won the AA championship last season. Went to the postseason in year 1, didn't win it. So, I mean, this team is actually, I don't know how that was called a strike, but okay, we'll run it back 3-1. But I don't know how this team is being the example of what playoff baseball looks like for the Pirates. But apparently we need to, get this team up to the major league level and let them produce. As after getting the mysterious called 1 strike when it should have been called ball 4, pops that one up to center field. So not able to get a hit or collect one here in today's game here for us. But this AA team is very exciting to somehow always pull it off in the postseason. He did go 1-for-4 here today, batting .269 now in the season. Edgar Collado hitting his first home run of the season, of the series. He's somebody to have interesting eyes on because he's just a C potential third base prospect, but third base is where we're looking right now, so could have eyes on that moving forward. As we go ahead and look here at the right fielders, want to get a closer eye here on what some of these guys have to value and offer for us. So Kyle McCoy getting a better look here, 67 overall on our board, but I see a lot of blue here, especially in contact, defense, and fielding. Just want to see where some of this stuff goes to. Looks like he could be somebody that's an MLB ready, kind of basically be at his potential when he gets up here. But after those minor league games, we come back to the major league level to go ahead and see that we actually lose to the Blue Jays here 7-5 to end that series out before losing here to the Braves. Going back and beating the Braves on an 8-0 victory there. Ethan Salas getting an injury, so it'll be straight. Losing to Atlanta there in the final game. So the Mariners, we won that series 2-1. Won the series against Toronto 2-1. Lost the series after that. But this 7-5 loss here has me kind of perplexed here as Paul Sneeze did good. Jose Leclerc had a chance to save it, but gave up, I guess, an error by Henry Davis and 4 runs score off of that. We gave up 6 runs in that 9th, and actually one of Matt Strom's runs didn't even count. So we should have won this game 5-2. Ended up losing 7-5 off of 1 error. I don't know how 5 runs score off 1 error. Maybe y'all can let me know down below what could have possibly happened, but there it is. Losing that game. Julian Cortez getting a home run here and 4 RBIs. And then Jerry Jones almost getting it done, just 2 outs away from getting a complete game shutout. But they pulled him for Lucas Sims to go ahead and finish it up. But we ended up losing the last 2 games here in the month of April, including a 10-0 loss here. Chris Sale was absolutely phenomenal. 8 1/3, almost shut us out. Only 5 hits as a team, and it was all the middle guys here. Davis, Brian, Anthony, O'Neill, and Julian getting 1, and Mitch Keller having a pretty bad start. So before we get out of here for the day, I do want to do a quick little stat update. 8 home runs leading the way by Pete and Julian, the rookie. He's up to an 80 overall now, +3 to his power left, +1 to all his fielding attributes. He's looking good. 22 RBIs also ties him up there with Brian Reynolds and Pete Alonso. 3 stolen bases too, which with 20 speed, I don't know how he's doing that. Average wise, Brian Reynolds 341. Rob Coy, the other rookie, 333, although he's only had 6 at bats. Pete Alonso's hitting 314. Jason DeLay with 20 at bats is hitting 300. Anthony's at 274, but on the cold streak now. On base percentages, Pete's at a 400. So obviously one of our best players here, almost close to 1,000 on his OPS. Pete Crow's only at 311. So I mean, I want him to be the leadoff guy, but he's really not looking like it, as everything points to him just kind of sagging back. Errors we're not even having that many of, only 6 by O'Neill Cruz through the first month. And then pitching wise, I'd say we're doing decent in this area. We got 5 guys here under 4 ERAs, including Joan Oviedo, who is still on the IL right now. But Jared Jones also has a 2.98 ERA, so that'll be fantastic. I was trying to look here to see if I could see how much longer he had on the injured list, but it doesn't show there on the player card. Jackson Wolf also had a 3.57. Now he's in the starting rotation, still showing that he can be good. But Jared Jones' whip at a .97 is amazingly crazy. And he's got 5 quality starts in 6 attempts, beating out Nestor Cortez and Mitch Keller. So he's obviously started out the hottest here. Paul Sneeze at 3 for 6. And then Jackson Wolf 2 for 3, the same as John Oviedo. So Paul Sneeze has been the one that's kind of lagging back. But I got to say, I'm proud of where the rotation is. I'm proud of where the team is at here early in the season. 18-14 record is not bad at all. Definitely a great bounce back from 8-7. So that's a 10-7 swing to end out the month of April. And it leads us to a month of May, which I'm going to call the division gauntlet. As you can see, we have the Cubs 3 games in a row. Then we go to the Colorado, or we're at home but playing Colorado. Then we go to Cincinnati for 3 games. Then we go to Philadelphia. Then we come back home to face Cincinnati again for 4 more games. Face Philly for 3 more games. Then we go to Milwaukee to face 3 games against the Brewers. Go to Chicago for 4 games against the Cubs again. Come home for St. Louis to play 3 games against them. It is about to be a crazy month of May with a lot of division games here that can really shake up and show who's going to stretch out, who's going to pull away. So next video will be showing that. I'm not sure how we're going to break it up. We're going to pretty much take it slow though. Very much so pay attention to these games here early in the season because it could make or break our season early. So if you guys are ready to see that, man, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for your boy. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's my boy SGG, aka SmooveGotGame, aka GM Smooth. And next time out, let me know down below predictions right now. We have, so it's 3, 6, 10, 19, 23. 23 games in the month of May, because you guys can see the 31st, but it's a 3-game series against the Cardinals. 23 games against the division opponents in the month of May. Right now down below, put your record prediction. What are we going to go in that next video? If we play all the games, but if not, just in the 23 game span, what's our record going to be? Whoever gets it right, we'll work out some kind of way. Let's go with a $20 gift card if you guys are able to get it right. I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm going for the day. Peace.